Greg and I are on our way to go snowmobile racing today. All right, Greg, show them the road. Holy crap. We had a little blizzard down here last night. Apparently we got 10 inches of snow and a lot of wind blowing, and it's geez, it's half after 9 and they haven't plowed yet.
I like blizzards.
It's pretty wild. So we're on our way out to the freeway, head up to Little River, and we're gonna go run the Wild Bill 20. So really cool thing, the club up there is keeping the trails open for bonus weekend, even though it's April Fool's Day today. You guys are watching Lonnie's, vintage snowmobile engine autopsy. That's what's playing today, and this is what Greg and I are doing while you're watching that. So you can see from my shirt, I'll be riding a Scorpion today. Greg's riding a Scorpion today, and you know our crazy Scorpion buddy from Willow River. That's whose sleds we're riding. So we'll bring you back when we get up there. All right, I'm here with my buddy Andy. Known Andy a long time, and Andy's racing today. What are you running?
I got, it's kind of like Johnny Cash's Cadillac, but it's basically a Colt. So we got 290 SS socks with a Walbro carb, because that's the best carb.
I'll dispute that.
76 rear suspension, exhaust that obviously doesn't match anything, custom racing seat.
Yeah, that looks like a custom seat, okay.
76 tank.
Was any of this fabricated at Nutter Speed Shop, or is this all after your affiliation with the speed shop?
There's a thing or two. I don't know if we're going to go into exactly what it is, but there's a thing or two that Nutter Speed Shop was involved with.
Okay.
The only thing I can think of off the top of my head is had to do some trickery to make the clutch fit.
Oh, I remember that.
It's an old style P85 on a SOX 30mm crank, so that doesn't bolt right out.
We made it work. Cool.
So yeah, it's been...
Cool, Andy, thanks. All right, I'm out here with John from Pine County Scorpions.
Yep.
What do we got on the Scorpion fleet today, John?
Okay, so leading the pack, at least in the lineup here, is we call it the goose feeder.
The goose feeder. Why do we call it that?
Because you're feeding the geese, you know. Just a acquired name it got.
Yeah.
And my dad's going to be riding this Toad Spaghetti. He's got his number is the cross because he needs all the luck he can get today. And
they know that from the last video he was in, where he sees that one 3 times.
Oh,
so
yeah.
we're familiar.
Well, that's that one. This is a really good chassis. It's been abused for a little while.
What's it, a 72?
It's 74 retrograded to a 72.
Okay, cool.
The only difference between the 73 and 74 is these little fins.
Gotcha.
So, pretty much 73.
All right, what's you're riding 68 there?
Yep, this is a Stinger 2 or a 72 Stinger 1. I'm not entirely sure, but this has been our race chassis for a long time. It's been racing as long as I've been alive.
I've ridden many trail rides with that sled.
Yep.
And it's good to see it out here. What about this oldie here, 67?
Well, we call this the Psychobilly Cadillac from Johnny Cash.
Yeah.
One piece at a time.
Okay.
Because that's how it went together.
One piece at a time?
The front end and the rear bumper of a 67. And then the tunnel's a 70-something, steering's a 71, chain case is a 73. Yeah.
Okay, one J's a Johnny Cash.
Yep.
All right.
Piece at a time.
What's with the red metal flake back here? Stinger 2.
Oh, yep. That I forget where he bought that, but it's a Stinger 2, and bought it running. It's a 340 SS.
Ooh, sweet.
Your common hot rod sled back in the day. And they came with like buckhorn handlebars, but they're real uncomfortable when you're trying to go fast through the woods. So we just straighten them out. So we call it the tightrope walker.
Nice.
Your hands are way out here.
All right, and the last one is the sled I'm riding today.
Yep.
I'm going to start off by saying that I sold bits and pieces of this sled to Todd and John years ago.
Yep.
And that's my track and skid I was putting together for a One Lung Racer. And when I abandoned it, well, those guys got it. So what's the rest of this thing?
The rest, it's a second over 280. This is my baby. I like to trail ride this thing. It's not slow. It's a smooth runner. And yeah, it's a Stingaroo, 72 Stingaroo.
Awesome. I'm psyched to ride it. Thanks for letting me run it, John.
Yep.
All regular snowmobile traffic laws apply. You're supposed to stop at the stop signs. Be courteous, stay on your side of the trail. Don't cut on the inside of the corners. I know there's not a lot of people out today, but the trails are better today than they've been all season. So the plan is to ride on shitty trails, and we just haven't had that this year.
All right, here we are at the start of the race. I hope you guys like this voiceover. First time I'm trying that. And here we go out of Willow. That's Greg off to the right. I believe that's Seth on the Yamaha. Jerry on the Scorpion, I think. Todd's on the, what do they call it, the goose feeder there. And we're heading up to the bridge. And it's beginning to dawn on me that I am probably on the slowest sled in the pack right now. Yeah, most likely I'm on the slowest sled in the pack. Alright, we're going to turn the corner here. We got to cross a couple roads. Not gonna bore you with the sounds of carbide scraping on asphalt here. Alright, kind of ready for a down and dirty ditch banging section. It's not as brutal a ditch banging as we have at home, but here we go. Those are just yields. Yields are optional. Nobody was coming. Things are nice and flat. Really enjoying this. It's just a great trail ride right now. Kevin Pracker's K5 on the right there. It's his plow truck. I really like it. Alright, gotta hop on asphalt again. Here we are on the bridge, and got to turn into the woods, and I blow the corner completely. So somebody else is blowing it already, so I'm going to take this detour. What the heck? There's somebody behind me? No way. I was sure I was on the slowest sled and just losing the pack. I definitely lost him good here. You could sort of see him up there. So things are flat and fast, which is not the forte of this sled. Alright, here we get into the woods section. So I really enjoyed this. This little sled, she just handles great. So it was really good in the woods. And I'll just let you watch now with no voiceover for a couple minutes until we get up to something worth talking about. I'm just enjoying the ride at this point. Really love the sound of this little one-lunger. It's been a long time since I rode a one-lunger. Nice tight corner, but the sled handled it well there. I did let off. I understand the guys in front did not let off for that at all. They would have been hitting that about 35 or 40, I'm guessing. So the top speeds on these sleds varies. I'm going to say this one I'm riding, probably the fastest I saw was 35 today. It was pretty pokey. I guess the leaders in the mod class are hitting mid-50s on radar and various radar runs and things. So they're not super fast. You're not going to get a speeding ticket on the trail with one of these. Hey, there's the back of the pack. I am gaining on the back of the pack through the woods. So that's cool. These indies that are running by us here, they're going up to help Todd with the timing. So they'll be at the halfway point, the halfway finish line, I guess you'd call it. And that's great. They're cool. They're just buzzing by. No stress to me. Got one more coming up behind me, if I remember right. So now we're more in the open country. Once again, not the strong point of this sled, but hey, who's that in front of me? There isn't one lunger within sight. I had clearly gained on someone going through the woods. Who is it? Oh, it's Greg. And he is indicating some sort of trouble. That thing was faster than the sled I'm riding earlier on. And he piles into the corner, and he's out. Greg waves me on, so I keep going. Little did Greg know, he'd sit there for over 2 hours before he got rescued. All right, back into it, just holding her pinned, you know. It's all this poor thing can do. And you probably heard a slight bog back there, and you're going to hear some more bogs up ahead. This thing starts to get super boggy. I don't have the sound playing, so I can't comment. That felt like a bog there just watching the video, though. So there's some more of this winding through the woods, and other than those bogs, the sled's doing pretty good. Alright, now we're back on the Sioux line, and definitely not the strong point for this sled. The woods was the strong point. I think you can tell every time I hit a bump, the thing bogs. So we'll talk more about that when we get up to the halfway point. She's just chugging along. I'm just enjoying the ride. It's a good little sled, and it rides really nice. I love the ride of a Scorpion Pararail. They're different than anything else. They don't feel like slides. They don't feel like bogies. They're their own animal, and they're real good. I think I see something coming up ahead. Is that the halfway point in the distance? Oh man, even just watching the video with the sound off, I could tell that was a bog. Yeah, that's the halfway point. We'll get across this road. And here we go. Coming up on the halfway point. Slowly. Slowly. I got her pinned. But that's all she'll do with this bog. There we go. Thumbs up. I have no idea what my time was. So there you go. Sled kind of dogged on me. Not that I was going to win, even if it didn't. But we'll just keep going after this and see if it'll make it back or not. So here's the Hathaway Stop of the trail ride. Not a race. It's a friendly trail ride out in Denham. All laws were obeyed. You didn't see any on the video that were broken. And here's who made it. Basically, everybody but Greg, unfortunately. So we're trying to arrange a modern sled to drag Greg back into Willow River. We're very, very suspect on this thing making it back. I may be sitting in the woods for a few minutes while they send somebody after me.
Days,
says the race organizer. Better to walk out, apparently. So there you go. Everybody but Greg made it to the midpoint. Although I sure came creeping in slow motion. All right, we think we found the problem on my ride. Look at that. I'd say we're sucking air into the carb.
all right,
Just
here
a
you go.
tad.
Just a little.
That second.
Just cut the wide end off, and then you have to
Just the tip?
Just the tip.
just the tip. Circumcise that.
You've taught him well.
Circumcise.
He already knows all the bar jokes. How did that happen?
Couldn't tell you.
Oh, I'm happy we found the problem. Son of a bee's gonna run like a rape ape now.
Yeah.
These iron lungers usually like the little bit of heat, and they don't like air.
Nothing likes air. Wish me luck on the return trip. Hopefully the new fuel line does the trick. All right, here we go on the second half, the return trip. And once again, it is not a speed demon, even with the fuel line fixed. The road crossing. Yeah, everybody stopped. Of course they did. Just didn't want to, make the sounds of carbides for you guys. So there we go, down the Sioux line. I'm hanging in there. I'm holding her pinned. Well, that's basically all I ever do on this sled is hold it pinned. So far, she seems like she's doing pretty good. I'm going to say that I could already tell that the fuel line fix was the fix for the bog. It was definitely sucking air. There I hit some bumps and, no bog. So that's good. So just trailing along, trying to follow the pack and trying to keep up. At this point, I don't think there's anyone behind me. They are definitely pulling away from me. Well, what's going on now? I'm catching up to somebody? Yes, indeed. I'm making a pass. And from what I understand, the sled didn't even go down. I'm not sure what the story was or if he finished or not. But I guess the sled was still working. All right here, this is kind of comical. I'm supposed to make a right there. I don't. So I'm cruising down the Sioux line and I'm wondering, where do I turn? I ought to be able to see those guys. Well, no. Somehow I lost track of them. I didn't see where they turned. Uh-oh. Crap. Yeah, that's right. The motor just stalled. It's not seized, but compression is very low. It's got a little bit. I'm guessing 50, maybe 60 PSI compression. I'm hoping that if I choke it and I get a bunch of fuel and oil in there, maybe it'll wet the rings and fire up. And then if it fires, maybe it'll shake that ring loose. Fairly sure what happened is the ring probably got partially seized into the piston ringland, so it's just stuck on the exhaust side. Pretty common. So here's the situation. I missed the turn. I was so far back from the pack, I didn't even see which way they went. Well, that's life. So, I'm on the Sioux line, and I know if I stay on the Sioux line, eventually I hit the Munger and I can run back down to Willow. So that's my plan. I'm just cruising the Sioux line, little Scorpions chugging along, I would say 35 miles an hour max. And, things are going okay. I'll make it back eventually. So, I had plenty of fuel. Why would I not try that if I didn't want to get lost? Well, as I'm cruising down the Sioux line, suddenly the motor basically shuts off. So as I'm coasting to a stop, I grab the recoil and she still turns over. And I eventually coast to a stop and I realize as I pull the recoil, there's no compression. So that's my situation. I'm waiting for a ride back. Nice guy came by and stopped, and he's aware of the race and everything, friends with Todd. So he should be here any minute now. And we're going to load this thing up on his trailer, dump it in Todd's yard, and maybe get back in time for the award ceremony. Kind of questionable. They're already in there doing math.
Late. Anyways, I'll just start with the HR class. And we had one sled in the HR class finish. So actually, he's going to go ahead and take home all the money. But, I guess I'll go first, second, third, because it's going to work out there, right? On his ski roll, he finally wins, and he wins the Wild Bill set.
Woohoo! Woo! All right, Seth, good work.
Protect your home with that as you go. There you go. And once you keep records on this, you get your name on the plaque, you're immortalized forever. Okay, since only one finished the whole thing, I had to go with what's the best time and who made it the furthest back. That would happen to be the Scorpion, number 71, John Nutter.
Woohoo!
And he didn't finish, but he Well, we'll tell that story. The next trophy he gets.
I made it more
John-
than halfway.
John got second place. You're on the flag.
I made it to Denham.
He got out there with a really, really good time out there, and then he had recoil issues. But at least he had a time out there, and he didn't start. So you end up with third. Andy Storbeck gets third.
Andy.
All right, and then we'll move on to. All right, I think you're good. We'll just go to the HD class and I'll go to the proper direction. Third place. Took me 15 minutes and 42 seconds to get out, and 15 minutes, 24 seconds to get back, 31 minutes and 6 seconds on the trail. I get first place. Woo!
Woo!
Good money. All right, that's second place again. He won last year on this sled, but we slowed him down with slush did. John, 15 minutes, 8 seconds out, 15 minutes, 24 seconds. If you would have seen the finish, we had a drag race, 3 wide, and we all finished about across the finish line that far apart. John Danelski on his score.
All right, John. Woohoo!
Right on. Get my money back. Extra 20 in the pocket.
Get your money back from registration.
Yeah.
All right, first place. And this is close to a record time, actually. I'm not sure. I'll figure that out. We'll have that posted. 716 players, record bumper. He got 13 minutes and 37 seconds on the way out. 13 minutes and 57 seconds on the way back. For a total time of 27 minutes and 34 seconds. That's it.
Woo!
There you go.
All right, Brendan.
Yeah, name on the plaque. All right. So, now the mod class. Third place. And this is the reason he's getting third is because he jumped up, and it really isn't fair to do this. But actually, 15 minutes, 24 seconds out, or 15 minutes, 8 seconds out, 15 minutes, 24 seconds back. He tied for first place. But I'm going to give him third because he was going to jump up. But John, you get third place in the mod class. Just because you're on your HD and fighting against second place. Second
I
place.
cheated a little, but I paid.
Mod. Gary Johnson, 15 minutes, 49 seconds out, 15 minutes, 45 seconds back, 31 minutes, 34 seconds total. Yep. There we go. You did it. Yes. Thank you very much.
Awesome.
John holding trophies.
15:08.
Hang on, I gotta get the money.
30 minutes, 32 seconds. Tommy Shepard, come and get your iron, come and get your money. And this was the late entry, right? You wasn't even going to race today.
Good job.
There you go. All right. Good racing. There you go. He wouldn't have beat me back to Willow had he not. Yeah. Anyway. All right. This is Choke the Chicken. And this gets handed out as a traveling trophy. And it goes to the first sled that breaks down or doesn't finish the whole race. And you'll have to bring it home, initial it, date it when you want it. And this guy brought a piece of junk Scorpion and smoked it before he could even get to the, where did you break down? Behind Proctor's
Yeah,
there.
Proctor's somewhere.
Yeah, out there.
On the trail.
Corner of the field, yeah.
And it's still laying out there. We'll pick it up on the way home. But this one, Choke the Chicken, you get to take this home and it'll adorn your garage for the next
sit in
year.
my bar.
Greg Beckstrand.
Woohoo, Greg! Bringing home the hardware.
This is the Green Weenie. And this one, I get, these parts have been in my garage long enough, but this one's really special. See, it's, I mean, fires each time. And you can actually, you can spin the pistons if you want. And if you need more fuel, you can find it. Anyways, this trophy goes, this is for the sled with the most potential and the worst performance. And it was kind of a toss-up because Andy had he was doing great. We had a rewind issue, and he didn't even start. But John started, and he kind of missed a turn. And this trophy's been handed out for this before. He almost made it all the way to the tall trestle. He was going to his leg in.
I was going to get a beer at Gamper's on the way back. That was my plan.
And so I've seen his shop before, and Andy can come by, stop by his shop, and you can look at this and go, yeah, that could have been mine. This one, get the keep. It's kind of cool. And it says WB 2023, so you know what year. John Nutter gets the green rating. Woo! Anyway,
Green Holder embarrassing hardware.
You could have checked out my cabin as long as it went to Walzak.
I was there.
it's in reverse.
I stopped in and took a leak.
We are 3 weeks behind on this. Oh, what do we got? Oh, yes. All right. Yeah. All right. All your iron. Tommy, come over here. She wants a picture.
Well, that was a great day of doing vintage sled stuff.
Not really, for a little bit.
Well, at least I got out to Denham, and partway back before I got lost and melted a piston.
I made about 2 miles before I melted the piston.
Yeah, well, but look at all the hardware we brought home. You know, not bad for a couple guys that melted a piston. I mean, Greg, you want to explain the choke and the chicken?
Well, basically it explains itself. I choked the chicken
Yeah.
and lost.
So, I got second place in the HR class because I made it further than the guy that got third place. He would have made it further than me, but his recoil rope broke. That was Andy. And then, well, this green weenie trophy that's trying to fall over, well, that's for me getting lost where I shouldn't have gotten lost. So there you go. That's a recap of the Wild Bill. Hope you enjoyed what we did with this today. You know, I wasn't going to be a contender, so we didn't get mid-pack footage, such as life. You get what you get.
We had fun.
We had a lot of fun. We had a great time. Thanks to Todd for letting us wreck his sleds, which we did leave him with some money to buy some new pistons. So, and thanks to everybody else that was on the race, and a big thanks to Jason and Eli for rescuing me out somewhere between Denham and
Walzak Road and
yeah,
Farm to Market Road.
Somewhere on the Sioux line. So, anyways, thanks to the patrons for your support of the channel. You guys are the best. For everybody that's not a patron, if you want to watch this channel ad-free, if you become a patron at the $5 a month or more level, you get to watch it ad-free on Patreon. Not on YouTube, but on Patreon. I'm uploading all the videos direct there for the patrons. And everybody else, we appreciate you. And I guess we'll see you on the trails.